Good morning, gentlemen. Today in crypto, Bitcoin. For those of you who watch Chris ever, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, hey, just wanted to do a quick update for you guys. Kind of taking a look, and I realized that you couldn't hear the video yesterday, so I'll kind of cover some of what I was saying yesterday. Part of what I was looking at yesterday was that we've been maintaining this lower trend line here for a bit. Last 2 weeks basically, and we'd had some pricing action that fell outside of it, and I said at the time wasn't vastly worried because I've seen plenty of times recently where we've had pricing action fall out and then resume a trend line, which it did. In fact, it did. And then it maintained this trend line here, this yellow one, um, which goes all the way back to over here. It's finding some support there from the look of it, and then we're resuming this upward trend for now. Who knows if that thing stays on there? The hourly stochastic is up here in overbought territory and is curling down. It would be a sell signal there. You're at anytime that the blue number is smaller than the red number there, that would be an indication that it is in sell off mode. But we got an RSI here, and this is what I really wanted to kind of show you guys. We got an RSI. I went ahead and we lost this line. This almost looks like a bearish retest on it here. But I've got this additional trend line, so I'm expecting that maybe we'll get an hour, maybe another 2 hours of downside. And this is almost kind of print a bit of a bull flag, so potentially still got upside. In terms of this upper trend line here, we've got an upper touch, so potentially got a third touch that'll come up in here somewhere. So I do still see maybe just a touch of upside there, but outside of that, I mean, we've got the 4 hour stochastic is still pointing up, so should still see some level of upside here. We got a 15-minute that is starting to curl back up. It's bouncing off of this 4 hour trend line that I created right here. And then you'll see that the 15-minute action is still well within this 60-minute line that I drew here. So yeah, I mean, we still got some feasibility here. And again, we're getting a bounce off of this descending 4 hour trend line as well. We got it right here. But really, kind of going back to the 60-minute again, just for showing you this, we fell off of here, and then whenever you fell off a pattern, what you're going to look for is maybe a double bottom situation. That's exactly what we got right here for the most part. You got this RSI right here. We got this one here. We're going to bounce off this 60-minute trend line, but we also, again, we essentially double bottom right there. So we got a nice move back to the upside up into this range. Now we've got some higher highs here, but some lower highs here. Hence the downside that we're looking at right there. But yeah, again, I still think we got a little more upside into here before coming back down and retesting probably somewhere in one of these lines. I do think we are going to lose this trend line, but again, it's feasible that we come up out of here and bounce to the upside. Now you'll notice the VPVR is pretty clean, so the volume nodes are pretty low there. So yeah, we got a chance to do some things, but in general, I'd expect a little bit of downside here over the next maybe hour or two, just kind of looking at this right here. So we got that. As far as Bitcoin dominance is concerned, just touch on that real briefly. On the daily, we're trending down. We've been trending down for a pretty good portion of time. I mean, this is the only day here that was green, but it was barely green. We have an oversold stochastic RSI. RSI is not quite oversold. So with any luck, we just go ahead and keep moving on down on this here. It's fallen below this support level on the daily chart. And then it looks like I could always draw another line here as a support, but assuming it doesn't get a bounce right here, then this could very well just keep going right down into this territory. Bringing it into a little closer time frame, we're super oversold down here on the 4 hour. We've got a lower low here, but a higher low on the RSI, so good chance we do see an uptick here. But again, if it upticks and then gets rejected here, more downside coming. So not too concerned at the moment, but there is probably going to be some bullish divergence here at the noon hour. Outside of that, I mean, that's basically what we're looking at here, gentlemen. Potential for a little bit more upside before some downside. And otherwise, hey, just keep sticking to some of these patterns out here, buying some bottoms, get some good leverage going when it makes sense. Bigger positions when it makes sense. I could go ahead and, if you want, bring in say FTM, just so you can kind of see what I've been doing there. So let's do just that. I'll bring this in 1 second. Now this went ahead and took off on me here this morning, so I'm not really sure what a good entry would be at this point. Rejection should come in right up here probably. Ideally, I'd like to buy it, as a retest on this particular trend line, or this resistance support zone, or make another buy here on this line. We've got an oversold stochastic, oversold RSI, so the likelihood is we're going to come back down, retest in there. And who knows, maybe it'll retest this 4 hour line and get another bounce off of it, which would really realistically equate to something similar to what you're seeing there. And what I'm talking about on the PA is, if this pulls down back onto this trend line, that essentially is representative of this trend line here. So that'll be what I'll be looking for. So ideally, if I'm going to pick up FTM again, it's probably going to be anywhere in the 25.5 cent range up to, potentially up somewhere in here, 26.5 cents. But yeah, and again, that's all I'm doing here, guys. Keeping these charts going as I'm going along. Had this nice rising wedge. Here's our parabolic breakout. Measured move on that is certainly to be hit here pretty quickly. So let's see what we got. Measured move. Yeah, it's pretty much at the measured move. So again, at this point, I'll expect a little downside as Bitcoin is making its moves down, and again, hopefully be able to pick it up on this trend line here. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all it takes. And hey, let's make some fucking money.